I'm standing here at the railroad tracks in Bound Brook, New Jersey, waiting to get on New Jersey Transit to take me to Penn Station, Newark, and then on to my class. Last week I unwittingly forgot the video camera to make my weekly entry into on the web about my class at Alliance Theological Seminary. And it's unfortunate because I really did want to say a couple of things. In the previous post I had mentioned about the fact, kind of the interesting fact that we were sitting 10 stories up off of Broadway and Worth in a high-rise building in our classroom, and that a lot of the discussion that we were talking about in regards to biblical theology just left me with a lot of questions about how pertinent or relevant some of our thinking was to the people on the street, the people that were just trying to make their way home that evening. And the next week's class really answered a lot of those concerns, in that we talked about something that J. Daniel Hayes in his book From Every People and Nation, Biblical Theology of Race, really did address. And I was really grateful for the classroom discussion, and because this is in many ways an answer to the question, one of the questions I had about, does it matter what we're talking here? Does it matter, and how does it matter to the people that are there on the corner of Broadway and Worth? And Hayes answers the question with, yes, it matters. And one of the things we need to think seriously about is how the church deals with the question of race. And it's just so far I'm really enjoying the book. He goes for the neck right at the beginning and discusses the question of kind of the biblical interpretation of the curse of Ham. He really kind of deconstructs this erroneously interpreted scripture, which has caused so much harm to the church, to God's people, and to people everywhere. And so it was good. It was good to see that these questions are really important to think about and reflect on. And I'm glad that we're reading this book in the class. In many ways, racism and the way that the church has chosen to relate to questions about race has, to be a little corny here, has been a kind of a bound brook in a sense of its own. Right? It really does kind of bind up the waters, the life-giving, the healing waters that are promised towards us in the gospel. The waters that come from Christ to us, it binds them up, and so life and healing and these things are not flowing in a way that they could if we looked harder, thought harder, and responded more in love to questions that come to us about race, our differences, and how we treat others. So the next time you see me, I'll be on the corner of Broadway and Worth. I've got my camera here with me this time, and looking forward to today's classes. I'm hoping I'll make it to class on time. The train is running on holiday schedule. It's President's Day, and I was unaware of that, so I missed the previous train. I'm here at Bound Brook, en route to